to the second race of the EU calendar for ZOR, the Bahrain GP. So right away, let's get all this super hot broadcast information up here so we can actually do our jobs. Let's get some telemetry, some lap data, and let's get a sweet map going here. And then now let's hide some stuff.
You love to see it.
Absolutely, and I'm your host Doth with and I'll be online here with my Ferrari teammate in T1, Zyg.
Thanks for the welcome.
Yep. So
it'll be an interesting race. This is one of those ones, if you're not familiar with the strategy here, you can do the one-stop medium to hard, but if you're starting on the softs, making the one-stop is going to be pretty tricky. So tires, safety cars will definitely shake up the strategy and shake up the field.
For sure. So right away, I mean, we have a couple people going out on the softs, a couple people going out on the mediums, which leads me to believe that it's probably a dry race, but which is obviously the expectation in Bahrain, but nonetheless. So take me through this track. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. What are the important things for people to be looking for to really hook up a good lap here?
Yeah. So off the bat, the kind of two defining features of this track. One is the extremely challenging turns 9 and 10, and I would throw turn 8 in there as well. In the middle sector, some really tight braking zones. Traction obviously is king at this track, so fresh tires are going to be really important for that. But besides turn 9 and 10, a couple of really, really long straights, so you have to have a really good balance in your setup between some good straight line speed for that to be competitive, as well as enough downforce to help with the braking and traction. So I'm on board with, it looks like Beck is just about to start his first flying lap. So.
Yep, and I'm on here with Gomez Olvega here. He was the first person across the line to start his lap. So he's going through Sector 1 here through the S's in Sector 1 and 2, and I use that term very, very loosely. Going down into this turn 8 that you were talking about, does a very nice job not to lock up, nice and smooth. He's going up the hill down here towards that defining feature of turns 9 and 10 where you kind of have to brake and turn and not brake and let the back come around. And so basically kind of just like that. That was beautiful.
It was pretty smooth.
Yeah, how he goes through it. So if you're trying to figure it out at home, that's more or less how it's done. So now he goes up into this uphill left-right section here at the end of Sector 2 and watches out for the death curb, as it's called. So
similar to that turn in Hungary, where if you touch the curb, it pretty much immediately sends the car around.
Exactly. So so it looks like he is coming through here, and he's coming around the final corner and going through. And let's see what he puts up. He starts us off with a 1:25.6, which is a very nice starting time. Nicely done.
Yep, he's gonna be happy with that. Pretty smooth lap all around. Looks like one of the Renaults is just warming up his tires there in Sector 3.
Okay.
Miami is, but Gomez will be pleased with that. Pretty tidy lap. He could have been a little bit more aggressive on his lines, especially in the second and third sector. You can get really wide on entry for some of these corners. So he might be able to gain a couple tenths if he takes a little bit more aggressive line, but certainly for a first flying lap time, he's going to be pretty happy with that.
Absolutely. So right away, I mean, that's a solid 8/10 clear of Beck and over a second and change clear of Zamaglis. So that's a strong start. That said, Zamaglis was on the mediums, and as was JXW. So there's going to be some time there. We're going to be able to see who's going to have a. There are a couple different ways that you can run this strategy here, and that's something I do like about this track, despite it not being one of my personal favorites otherwise. So Andre Sousa comes up in third. It must be those new gloves that he got, or new glove or something if the other one hasn't come in. And let's see. Let's see. So who is currently starting a lap? Okay, so Fuzz is now starting a lap here. He's flying down into turn 1, and that was just a terrible broadcast camera there. So thanks Codemasters. I mean, Fuzz looks like cuts the corner and he invalidates. Okay, so
I got his telemetry up. It doesn't look like he's running the ERS right now. It looks like he's in kind of recharge mode, so he might have invalidated his first lap.
Okay. And California goes up to second with the 26.4. So Miami now jumps in with the 26.1. So we're seeing some very low times today, which is going to be great. Oh, and we have Zenith with the spin. Hopefully it doesn't look like he's out of the race. Just he'll have to abort the lap and get a new wing. But they're a dime a dozen anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I just checked the race director. Fuzz invalidated a 26.0 on his first flying.
That too bad. That would have put him in second place. That would have been a nice lap there.
Really happy with that. But
for sure.
He's going to be coming in this lap because softs, as we discussed kind of at the beginning, the softs are not a very great race tire. So I doubt he will want to start the race on softs that have already had one flying lap taken out of them. One extra besides his other qualifying laps.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So, with you have any bold predictions here that you want to share with everybody?
I think we are going to see whoever starting in 11th make it to the podium.
Okay.
Don't know who that's going to be yet, but that will be my bold prediction. I think starting outside the top 10 with the free choice of tires, I think whoever is in that position is going to be really poised to rise up. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think I like that call. So we'll see who that ends up being.
Yes, whoever's in 11th, I really hope they have a great race.
Absolutely. So we know who Zyg is going to be rooting for. That's for sure. Let's see.
Looks like almost everyone except for Brandon and RC and Zenith are choosing to go with the softs right now. Not for their best lap, but for what they have fitted currently. Zamaglis set his first time 26.9 on mediums, but he's on his outlap now on softs. So this is kind of one of those tracks where if everybody qualifies on the mediums, it's pretty much a one-stop for everybody, but it looks like people are going to be going on to the softs, which will mean hopefully a more entertaining and exciting race for us, because that's going to really mix up the strategies.
Absolutely. So right away we have said Lit Romney went purple in Sector 1. So we're going to ride on board with Lit Romney out of his lap here. A little twitch through 8, but he comes, that's not too bad. Comes down to 9-10. Let's see. When puts it a little wide. I'm familiar with that mistake, Zach.
Oh, I am as well.
Yeah, so
he's taking a little bit better line there through turn 11. He got on the curve. You can get even wider than that on entry.
Yep. Let's see if he beautifully avoids the curb of death there. Slows down in a straight line. Cuts that very nicely. So now he's going to take this run down, and let's see how wide of an entry he takes. Because if you nailed this correctly, you can get the entire car over the curb. He takes a little more conservative line there. I can't blame him with a little spin before you want to get something and then now he's got to get another time on the board.
Yeah, I would expect him to be in the 27s because that turn 9 and 10 he lost at least 2 or 3 tenths there because that acceleration then is going to affect you all the way down to turn 11 too. So
for sure. So we're on board. I'm on board right now with Beck as it goes through Sector 2 here. He's coming up into turn 8. Let's see. Slows the car down. Little lockup, but it really doesn't look like it hurts him. Gets the power down well. He's going up the hill here as he comes down into 9. Cuts that inside curb very nicely. That's nicely done there. Rolls over the curb. Doesn't get himself in any trouble. And now he's going to power his way all the way down the straight. Let's see. So he goes. Let's see how wide he takes this.
Yep,
he gets way out there. Nicely done. Touches that inside curb. He's got his foot down in 5th gear all the way through. Very nice. He's just got to be careful now to... there you go. Doesn't touch that. Doesn't touch the inside curb. Ooh, goes purple through Sector 2. Takes it all the way out wide. He's taking a ton of power through here. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how wide he takes this last entry. Yeah, he's starting to cheat over, and he goes onto the curb a little bit, but gets the car rotated quite well. Let's see. Let's see where he is. 22, 23. Hits the DRS, goes wide open, and that puts him up into second. Still, Gomez has 3 tenths still on everybody, which is incredible. So who else is coming through the... going to be coming through the line here?
Validated again.
Oh, fuzz.
Brandon's rounding the final corner now.
So is Zamaglis here. Zamaglis runs a 25.8 to put him into second. Nicely done. Crazy let's see, Crazy Sriracha here is coming through Sector 3. He's got a lot of fans in the chat. Let's get him some love here, and he runs a 26.4 to put him in 6th. That's a solid time. So now we have the other Mercedes of Jinnit coming through, who goes into 10th on the mediums. And
pushes Brandon out of the top 10, who is also on mediums.
Okay, with 7.5 minutes to go, though, a lot can still happen. Nope, wrong racing point. We have Bones coming through oh, he was on an out lap. Okay, beautiful. So he's about to start a lap. Do you want to take us through Bones' lap?
Yep, so he's got the DRS open in the hot lap, and I'm sure in max fuel. Braking just around the start of the curve there. He braked pretty late. You need to be quite conservative through turn 1 and 2, because if you get too aggressive, you're going to spin a little bit through turn 2 like she did there. This, I think, is the hardest braking and accelerating zone on the whole track there. You can get really, really wide. 9 and 10 is difficult braking, but not too bad on acceleration. Through the S's in the middle sector, pretty clean. Braking now for turn 8. Does a good job rotating, doesn't lock up, and gets on the power pretty well. Now for the most challenging part of the track, turn 9 and 10. Oh, he's got a little bit of a lock up there, but is able to rotate without too much trouble. A few cars on outlaps, giving him plenty of space. We'll see how aggressive he is through turn 11 and through the rest of the 3rd sector. Not too bad, but let's see. Got the car rotated pretty well, and like we've seen other drivers do, as soon as they get up into 5th grade A, you can be really aggressive on the power. Avoids the nice curb of death. Ooh, pretty bad lock up there. That's going to cost him a couple tenths maybe, especially as he's accelerating now for the final corner. Doesn't have a time on the board yet, so he's going to be really hoping this gets him into the top 10. Let's see, 24, 25, he's going to be
6th
place, 26.3, so a pretty good lap. I think he'll be into the 25s on his final lap, hopefully. He's got enough time to get back into the pits before and get out before the session ends, so hopefully we'll see him make a run for pole.
Absolutely, and Fuzz has to box again, so he still has no time on the board. We have Miami coming around the corner here. It said he was purple in Sector 2, but so we'll see how this goes. Sector 3, he's coming down to that to the penultimate straight into the last corner here. Touch the curb. Let's see. He really gets the car rotated well. Gets on the power early. This may be a pretty nice looking lap here, and he puts down a 1:25.6 to put him on pole. Wow.
Pole by 600ths of a second.
Absolutely. I would say, an absolute eternity in F1, but even that's not true. Like, that's so freaking close. Very good. So somebody's in Sector 3 here. It looks like it's Willow. Oh, okay, but he's either on a hot lap,
yeah.
or rather
looks
an out
like
lap.
He's on an in lap because he looks like he's got some damage.
Well, he's got 4.5 minutes. There's still plenty of time here to get this to get another lap in. So
it looks like.
Yeah, we now have a little bit of the lull.
Looks like he's finishing a hot lap.
Thank you. And he's 9/10 up through. He's 9/10 up through Sector 2. Hits the DRS and comes across the line with a 26.3, putting him into 7th. That's another solid lap. We have a Ferrari coming through here. Lit Romney, he's on an out lap, so he's about to start his lap. Let's see what he can put up here. Let's see that this first corner does a nice job breaking a straight line, turning in late, catches a little curb there, but that's just fine. And it doesn't quite take enough curb there in 2. I don't know that he quite was able to hook that part up, which is definitely going to hurt.
Didn't look like he got the nose into the corner early enough. He was kind of chasing it as he went around.
Yeah, I am very familiar with that. Whoa. Oh, and it's a retirement. Ouch. That's that's unlucky. That is unfortunate.
I know that game, unfortunately.
Why, Zach? What happened to you on Monday night in qualifying?
I prefer not to talk about it.
Right you are, Captain.
At least mine was, or at least his was on a flying lap. Mine was on an out lap, which was all the more troubling. But it's like RC is on an out lap as well.
Okay.
Or no, on a flying lap. It's like he's got the engine turned up. He went wide through turn 9 and 10.
It says he's invalidated, so we're going to move on. And Gilzo with the great comment in the chat, hashtag Romney done a Vettel.
Yep.
So let's see.
It'll be interesting to see these final set of laps. We got a lot of people in the pits or a lot of people on out laps. So this final set of laps, I think there's 3, 4, 5 drivers who might be able to take a stab at pole, so it'll be interesting to see that. And then we've got between 5th place, which is a 26.2 for Andre Sousa, all the way down to 10th, which is a 26.7. So only 3/10 there, separating 5 through 10. So it'll be really tight to see who else can make it into the top 10. And
Yeah.
10th and change is going to net you maybe a row or two on the grid, which is pretty significant.
Which
so
is absurd.
To see this, yeah, to see this last set of laps, it'll be really tight.
Yeah. So we're on board with RC here as he flies down sector 1, going into turn 4 or whatever it is, that tough braking zone that you can never actually get right and you always feel like you leave time. He's RC is 7/10 faster through sector 1, so he might put something up here that's pretty that's pretty nice. We're gonna monitor that one. But Crazy Sriracha is also on a hot lap here. He's coming to the end of his sector 1, and let's see what he puts up here. And so he is about a 10th up on his time. So let's see if he can improve. We have Gomez coming out to try to knock off his time from earlier. So we're gonna have a flurry of activity here at the end. So finishing up sector 2, going into sector 3 now is RC, and RC is 1.7 seconds up on his time.
That's on his time with medium tires.
Yeah. So if he's up, 2 seconds and change, this puts him right in the conversation here.
Yep. He's going to be right up there. And crucially, everyone outside of the top 10 right now has their fastest lap set on medium tires. So nobody outside the top 10 is on the softs, with the exception of Brandon.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see if any of them can get up in the mix there for pole as well.
Yep. So RC goes into 11th here, which may be the perfect spot to be in, as you've mentioned. So Gomez Ovega is about to start his lap. We have Crazy Sriracha coming around through sector 3. He's about to finish his lap, and he puts up a 26.1, up 3/10, puts him into 5th. That's going to be that's a solid lap. A 26.1 is very quick here.
Spun.
Oh, geez.
He hit the death curb.
Man. Hit the death curb and goes rear first into the wall. Let's hope that doesn't blow anybody else's laps here.
He's still in the session.
Okay.
He spun again now in the gravel,
Yep.
trying to rejoin the track. But he was a 10th down on his time, so that would have put him really close to pole.
So Gomez Ovega goes up half a tenth in sector 1 on his best time. We have Fuzz is about to start his lap here. I just don't want to miss anybody coming around to finish a lap.
Even through sector 1.
Okay. We have Zenith coming around. So qualifying is over. So now nobody can start a lap. So Zamaglis has unfortunately missed his shot here. So who's the next to come around? It's going to be California. Ooh, California barely holds on there. He's up about a 10th of a second. Let's see. Let's see what he's got as he goes into this. Goes into the final turn. Touch of the curb there, but he's got to get more over than that, I think. California runs down the line across the DRS, and he jumps to 5th place, 26.0. Solid lap there.
About to cross the line. He had a bad sector 2, did not improve.
Does not improve. Who's
Gomez.
next? Gomez, let's see. He's up a 10th and a half. But no, he's
invalidated.
Yep. Unfortunately, he's invalidated. We have Bones now coming across the line. He's got this looks like a solid lap here from Bones. 25.9. Okay, keeps him in 4th place here. We have Andre Sousa coming around next here, and he's invalidated, so he's going to go in. We have the other Mercedes of Zenith now finishing a lap. He's 1.2 seconds up on his time, powering down the line, going into the DRS, and he goes into 10th place on the softs. We have JXW now looking to finish a lap. He's up 2/10 on his time, coming around the last corner, and he runs a 26.0 as well. So there are a handful of guys here who are just
3 drivers with a 26.0.
Holy crap. Fuzz has not set a time and is technically finished here. So
I think Brandon's the only one who's
still on a flyer.
He's on an in-lap.
Oh, no, but he's on an in-lap as well. Okay.
I think that's the grid set.
There you go. All right, so
all right, Dylan. You gotta make my prediction look good. But yeah, from 5th place, Beck ran a 26.019. In California, 26.090. So less than a 10th separating those 3 drivers. 4 drivers, really, if you look up to Bag of Bones with a 25.911. So very, very close between all of them. It'll be As we talked about, less than a tenth here could net you an entire row on the grid. So I
For
think it'll be a
sure.
pretty exciting race.
For sure. And I was just looking, I kind of pulled up the race director here. It looks like Miami found his time over Gomez in Sector 1. There's like less than a tenth between them there, but that is the difference between them over the course of the entire lap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah, this is going to be a great race up front here. Who's still on track that this is... okay, Jenna's bringing it back into the pits here, because I was like, why, you know,
And
according
Willow
to this thing...
as well.
Okay. Sorry to Dylan and Willow here. We haven't given you guys too much screen time. I've been trying to follow what's been going on with everybody here. But Dylan, I mean, no pressure in the race, because at this point you're basically Zyg's pick to win or something like that.
I believe I said podium, but
no, too late.
All right.
Let's not let let the facts get in the way of a good story here.
That's true.
So if you want to take us through the...
Yeah, so Miami on pole for Renault, and then Gomez in second place, less than a tenth separating those two. Zamaglis in third, Bag of Bones, then Beck, JX, California, Crazy Sriracha, Andre Sousa, and Jinnit rounding out the top 10. Starting outside the top 10 and on their free choice attire in 11th is Dylan, 12th Brandon, then RC, Willow, Lit Romney, and Fuzz bringing up the rear. So yeah, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers starting outside the top 10 who will have their free choice attire.
Beautiful.
I would imagine maybe Lit or Fuzz, who's at the back there, might be starting on the hards and then waiting for a safety car at some point. It'll be.
I think
be
that's
interesting
the
to
move.
see the two sets of strategies and which one comes out on top.
For sure. So I think though. So let me ask you this. So let's say you qualified like 5th place, and you're starting this race on the softs. Lap 1 safety car. What are you doing?
I think lap 1 safety car. A lot depends on where you are in the grid. I think.
Well, let's say you started 5th.
Yeah, if you're 5th, I think that's right on the crossover point. I think if you're on either of the front 2 rows, then you stay out and keep your track position. But if you're in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th on the softs, it might be worth boxing early for maybe a set of hards and then seeing if another safety car comes out. But yeah, 5th is tricky. I think it depends on, like I said, your track position and where if you feel like you have pace to the guys around you. But if you stay out on the softs, the safety car period, that should allow you to one stop to the hards. But if you come in and box during the safety car and don't lose too many positions, then can allow you a lot of flexibility as the race goes on. So 5th crossover point for me, I would probably box though.
Yeah, I think I think that makes sense. I mean, we'll see how it goes here. Okay, so it looks like now as the grid is lining up, Miami pulls off, and Gomez and Zamaglis now begin to pull off. And as they go through and start this, synchronized dance of the formation lap and arbitrarily warming up your tires, we're going to give the people what they want. We are going to ride on board for the entirety of the formation lap with Fuzz, the formation lap firework over here. Let's see. So I'm taking bets. Is he going around? Because this is what the people want to see here. This is why they tune in every week. Nice and smooth through turn 2.
It's great so far. So for the drivers outside the top 10, Fuzz is on the hards in last. Lit Romney in 15th is also on the hards, and then RC in 13th is on the hards. Dylan, Brandon, and Willow in 11th, 12th, and 14th respectively on the mediums. Every driver in the top 10 and the softs.
Interesting that nobody made it through on the mediums. This is going to be... Oh, why was Bones disqualified? Oh, Bones and Beck probably hit each other. Because they're both disqualified from the session, so now they're just going to be chilling on the grid waiting for everybody else to make their way around. So, oh man, I was hoping the spin would happen. Right, here it comes, Oh, too bad.
He's toying with us.
I know, he's toying with us. He's listening in. And thank you, F1 Insights, powered by AWS, for this medium hard, soft, medium suggestion for the 2-stop versus the 1-stop strategy. I mean, I think the 2-stop here can work, but you have to be in a lot of free air, and so there's a lot of
Yes.
things that have to go right for it to work.
Yep, I agree. The traffic here, DRS is pretty powerful. So I think if you can stick in the DRS of someone who's maybe on softer tires who has a little bit more pace, that can be really useful. But yeah, if you're battling with someone, you can lose a lot of time in dirty air, especially. So clear air and aggressive overtaking. If you have both of those things, I think the two stop can work.
Wait, let's see if anybody tries to pull it off. Also, I'm loving the guy in the corner in the green, the track marshal, just not looking at the track at all. My man is taking his job seriously. All right, come on, Codemasters, give us this front view. What view is this for the freaking start of the race? And 5 laps, and they're off, and that was a long light there. So, I mean, everybody kind of seems to get away cleanly. Here we go. As we go dive down to turn 1, we have Beck, who's gone up, and California's gone past him. And we have Gomez, who actually jumped Miami off the line. Let's see, he gets in cleanly. And we have a little bit of contact in the midfield. Oh, and we have a Ferrari spun. Crazy Sriracha's gone around. He's falling down. We have Brandon, who's gone around. Oh, we have some carnage at the beginning. Dylan is
JX has spun as well.
JX has spun around. So now we have Fuzz up to 13th, and Sriracha and JXW are down. The front couple get away cleanly. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1, but importantly, no safety car. It seems that everybody has suffered some it doesn't seem like anybody has suffered some severe damage here. But now there's going to be, another yellow. What's going on? We have another Crazy Sriracha spin. And in the number 5 Ferrari, the spin at Bahrain is just, it hurts a little too much right now.
Importantly, up at the front, Gomez, who started P2, jumped Miami for the lead. And
he's starting to pull away here too. He may get out of DRS here, and so they think maybe that a soft medium can work out here. But we shall see. We shall see how this begins to play out. I mean, we have the guys now who are starting to kind of get into their groups here. I mean, we have to expect this race to be close, just with sheerly how close they all were in qualifying.
Exactly. Looks like Zimaglis, Beck held position in 3 and 4 respectively. Brandon's falling down the order.
Yeah, he went wide. He went wide there through the turn. So he's back on the track. Everything is fine, but just he's gone wide. So now. Do we have a little bit of a okay, so now we have one of those lovely glitches where all of a sudden now Jinnit, despite the fact that he is demonstrably in like 8th place on the grid, is now in 1st. So we know that Gomez is actually leading the race, so we are just going to kind of use him as the as our de facto leader. Oh, and Brandon has left the session. Hopefully it's just an internet issue and he can get back in pretty quickly because his car will stay on the track here. But right in front of that...
Looks like he does have wing damage, so it'll be a damaged Williams.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So we have a couple of... Ooh, yellow. Someone who spun? Oh, and it's Bones. Bones has gone around.
He had lost 3 positions after the first lap, so that's not going to help him. He was able to recover pretty well.
Doesn't look like he has damage.
Not where he wants to be, yeah.
So... JXW now has just jumped in front of Brandon here, and we have Crazy Sriracha who's going to be coming around as well. But up in front right here, everything has retimed itself back up. We have Zamaglis, which is in a second of Miami, and then Miami's in a second and a half of Gomez here, and Beck is right behind Zamaglis. So even though we're 2 laps in, these guys are not leaving each other, which is really fantastic for us here. So. Let's see. I'm going to try to get some. Detail position change. We're going to show the tires as well. That way, as Andre Sousa tries to make a dive down the inside of California, but it's not quite there. As you said before, DRS is very powerful here, so we'll see if that can help shake up the order a little bit right now. Because like Zamaglis is now closing on Miami with DRS, and let's see.
There's a little bit of a pocket from Andre in 6th to Jinnit in 7th. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like Lit Romney spun.
And he comes out behind.
A good start.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And apparently he might have had to pit because he's on 0 lap old. Or these guys are all on 0 lap old hard, so that's just not helpful. Thanks. Oh, we have an accident here. We have RC has some. Looks like RC has some damage as Fuzz goes by here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like RC is missing his front left.
His left end plane.
Yeah. That's going to hurt, especially because he started on hards. That's the risk of
That's the risk with hards, and especially the left front wing is going to be, he's going to miss that because the hardest braking zones, turn 9 and 10, kind of rely on a little bit of that downforce to help turn the car in there on the left. So
for
it's going to
sure,
hurt him especially.
For sure. So right now we're on board with Zamaglis here, and let's see if Zamaglis can make a move on Miami down into this into turn 1 here. It doesn't look like he's going to get close enough, unfortunately.
No, he's not using his overtake button yet. He's only got about 50% ERS, so he might just stick in the slipstream and charge it up for another lap and maybe take it down a little bit.
That makes perfect sense. But while we were watching that, we have Fuzz on Willow Wolves. They're going side by side into turn 1, and Fuzz is able to make the move stick on the harder tires. But let's see now if Willow can come back at him here on this next straight, because now Willow is going to have DRS. So we're on board with Willow right now as he goes to the inside of Fuzz, but Fuzz is just a little too far away. Ooh, and we have RC's gone to the pits. We have, I think, who's gone off? Somebody's gone off. Beck has gone. Beck.
Turn 7, approaching turn 8.
Unfortunate for Beck. Unfortunate.
So Gomez pulled out pretty quickly at the lead on lap 1 and 2, but he used up a lot of his ERS. He's got only about a quarter power left on his battery, so it looks like he kind of took the approach of being very aggressive lap 1, trying to build that gap. But it came at quite a cost of using up a lot of his battery. And that gap to Miami in second has been holding steady for the last couple laps, so he's not gaining too much time. We'll see if Miami and Zamaglis can close that up, though.
That's a great point, and I think, too, part of it, I'm sure there's a calculation, like, how much DRS is worth getting out, how much, ERS is worth getting out, DRS range getting out. So, not that sentence made sense, but you generally understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're going to take the risk to get outside the DRS range if it comes at the expense of using up a lot of your battery. Looks like Gomez is gone for that. We'll see if that pays off for him.
What's also helping Gomez is that Zamaglis has been right on Miami's tail here, and he's still within half a second. So
I've found so far, and you might have a similar or different experience, so you can weigh in, but I found about that half a second, being inside half a second is really, really challenging in F1 in 2020. It looks like they've upped the effects of dirty air a lot when you get inside a second. So looks like Zamaglis has been able to hold it right about around half a second, but hasn't been able to close it much within that and try for an overtake. So Miami hopefully is just punching a hole through the air for him and follow through, but I haven't seen Zamaglis close that gap to much less than half a second. So.
Yeah, no, and that's great insight there, and I've found the same thing to be true on those rare times I was within a half second of another car. So not facing backwards, but let's see if Zamaglis goes for it now. He's the closest he's been going into the DRS zone. Yeah, he just activated his overtake, and now he's got the DRS open. Let's see. Gap is starting to shrink.
His battery's almost dead.
Zamaglis takes a look, but wisely gets back in line here. Let's see.
And once again, as we talked about with that calculated risk that Gomez is taking, his ERS is less than 10%, so he's using up a lot of his battery trying to maintain that gap. So if Miami and Zamaglis are able to quit their battling and make some headway towards Gomez, we could have a three-way fight for the lead here.
Sure. So if somebody pits, just kind of, stretching that out a little bit, if somebody were to pit, if there were a VSC, not a safety car, but if there were a VSC, and somebody could get a cheap stop that way. Okay, hold on. Before that, I think Zamaglis is going to take a rip here. He's less than a quarter second down, coming out of 9-10. He's right behind him. He's got to go for it here. Let's see. We're going to right on board.
He's using his overtake.
Yeah. And he gets next to him. And, they make contact. They touch. They touch. But it looks like...
I don't see damage.
No, it looks like they're okay. And, Miami goes back by. Oh, man. I don't know if the contact had anything to do with that, but that was... I'm glad they were both able to keep it on the track there. I would have hated to see that cause a retirement, because this looks like it's going to be a fight for the next 25 laps.
Yeah, it really does. And looking down the rest of the field, it's Dylan is kind of, sort of on the fringes of DRS to bag of bones in front. So Dylan was that lucky man starting on poor man's pole in 11th. So we'll see if he is able to.
And Zamaglis is going for it again. He goes down the inside into turn 1 and gets it done, but his exit was quite sloppy. Let's see if Miami is trying to go back around the outside. Ooh, they're going to go side to side here. Who has DRS? Miami has DRS here, so let's see. He's got to be able to hold this. And he does. And wow, the two of them have been all over each other. And at this point, Andre Sousa and Gomez have got to be like, thank you guys very much.
Gomez has stretched his lead out over a second and a half in the last lap and a half since Zamaglis tried to make that move. So Gomez will be more than happy to have those two keep battling if it means he's able to extend that lead.
Absolutely. Let's see Zamaglis. Let's see. Zamaglis has got to try it again here. Zamaglis is in the DRS. We're riding on board with Zamaglis here. And he's coming up on Miami. He's looking on the inside. It just wasn't there. And that was smart. Just smart management there from Zamaglis. If it's not there, like, you know you're right in this guy's slipstream, don't force it. Because you have 20-something laps left. Don't do anything stupid.
For Zamaglis, this might be a time to consider an undercut. Pit window's just about open here on lap 6, so if he's going to go for the 2-stop, this could be a time where he undercuts to try to get out of this battle, and maybe tries to pick it up later on. But
that's a great point. That's a great point.
Looks like he's not going for it this lap, but
as the pit window thing pops up, thanks AWS Insights. Let's see. No, Zamaglis stays behind him again. And who's pit? So looks like Zenith is pit, California is pit, Beck is pit. So people are starting. Ooh, Sector 2-3 yellow flag. We have a Ferrari that has spun. Ooh, Lit Romney spun. Unfortunately, has hit the wall. Okay, brings it back around. He looks like he's okay though. It doesn't fortunately, it doesn't look like, he hasn't had to retire, but he may have some damage here. But we're gonna go back to the battle here. Zamaglis now has dropped to about that dreaded half-second zone as he. Man, I can't even keep up with this. I gotta give Crofty credit sometimes.
So just a quick note for most of those, everybody who pit has either opted for the hards. California has opted for the hards, so he might be looking to stretch those to the end. JX is pit for fresh soft tires, so he's definitely committing to the 2-stop. But everybody else who's come into pit, Jinnit, Beck, Sriracha, and Brandon have all gone for the medium tires, so that signals to me like they're also looking for a 2-stop and might be trying to run those soft compound tires at the end of the race, going for fastest lap at the end, as well as maybe some overtakes.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. That'll be for an interesting. Oh, and Zamaglis tries to go inside, not quite there. Does a nice job of holding up, but now he's going into the DRS straight, and he's gonna get it done here for sure. Because he was so close to Miami there and really compromised his exit. Really nice job. Ooh, and Sousa gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as our leader came into pit, and he comes out on the hard tires. So let's see what he's gonna do here. Sousa's in the pits.
Sousa, he's going under the mediums, so it'll be interesting to see what these guys choose to do.
Yep. And those hards there gives them a ton of flexibility. The mediums a little less so. The mediums, you are stuck on the 2-stop here. But right now, Zamaglis is the leader of this race. As JXW puts in a stonking lap on those softs, which I'm going to make.
He's going to need to, because he's put on those fresh softs, so he's definitely going for a 2-stop. He's going to need to put in more than one fastest lap out there today.
This crazy Sriracha goes out on those fresh mediums and immediately makes use of them and makes a pass on RC to get himself into 13th and holds on with a little bit of a lockup still. Nicely done pass there. Let's see if. But we'll see if RC is going to be able to fight back here, because now RC has DRS going into turn 3. He's too far away. So we're gonna monitor that battle as well. We have if we have Gomez Ovega here on Willow Wolves, and they both lock up into 11, but Gomez gets the job done. So that's hugely important for him if he wants this undercut to work out, because if he gets stuck in traffic, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like both Zamaglis and Miami are opting to stay out, so they might be trying to stretch and go for the 1-stop. If they're going to pit for the hard tires here, maybe on lap lap 12 is about where you want to target for the soft-hard strategy, if that's what you're going to try to do. Crucially, for me at least, Dylan, who started in 11th on the fresh medium tires, is all the way up to 3rd, and he's looking in a very strong position as this race develops. So
Yeah, you're not kidding.
One to watch.
Let's actually take a quick look at the leader gaps here, so we can kind of have an idea of where everybody is in terms of their gaps to the leader, kind of just seeing where pit stops happen. Oh, yellow flag.
Sector 1.
That looks like. Well, I guess it was nothing major there because it looks like everybody is still moving okay. But in terms of gaps to the leader here, at this point, Zamaglis would probably come out behind Olvega, I think, because it's about 15.5 seconds. I think the loss is a little bit more than that, though this is a very short pit lane. But, you know,
oh, Jinnit spun.
Oh, no.
Accelerating out of turn 8.
Poor Jin. He just, when he puts it together, he's got so much pace. He's so quick. Just, you know, you hate to see that.
Yeah, so Gomez...
Zamaglis pits. As does Miami, so they're on the same strategy here. They're going to be on top of each other. They are spoiling us as commentators.
Because they're going to have a nice 29-lap battle.
Absolutely.
It's shaping up to be. Fuzz is moved up to 2nd. You see there the advantage of starting on the fresh, harder compounded tires, either on the hards or the mediums, as Dylan did. It just allows you to run so deep into this race. Both of them will still need to make a stop, and it looks like, based off of gaps right now.
And California has undercut Miami, and he's come out between Zamaglis and Miami. I did not see that coming. Wow, that must have been an awesome couple of laps for California there to kind of put himself even in range for that. Nicely done, and that really throws a real, what do they say, a spanner in the works, or some sort of British saying that I'm going to get made fun of for by somebody in the chat.
Yeah, so California ran a 36.1 and a 36.7 on those hard tires on his first and second lap. And his fastest time on the soft compound tires was a 31.4, so he was only 0.2 off his fastest time on a 2 compound softer tire.
Wow.
So he put in some stonks.
Yeah, so he ran 36.4 on the softs, and then 31, so he ran 31.4 on the softs, and 31.6 and 31.7 on the hards. Wow. Right. That's how you get yourself back into play here. But now Miami is all over him. Oh, we have a flag in Sector 2. We have a spin. Oh, JXW hit the wall. Unfortunate. He's really found a ton of pace this season as well. But let's go back to this fight here with California and Miami. So this is, as much as I hate to say this...
Willow and Andre going side by side.
Where's... Oh, and thank you. Willow gets... Willow is doing a nice job of holding him off here on those older towers. Let's see, Andre goes side by side again, and... Oh, and we've lost Jinnit. We have a VSC, but Andre Sousa goes by Willow. So let's see what happens with this VSC. If Dylan can get into the pits here and go on to these hards, I mean, on the VSC, you may look very, very smart here. We have JXW who's going to pit now, who's going to take advantage of this. We have Jinnit, who has retired, unfortunately, in Sector 3. We have Brandon, Brandon is staying through. So JXW gets a free wing out of the deal. So, you know, thank you very much. And excellent Codemasters. It looks like they put a wing on top of a wing. So that's even better. That's what we want to see right there.
Dylan's just now entering Sector 3, so he...
Oh, Andre got a drive-through for speeding.
Penalty.
Oh, unforgivable.
That's tough. But yeah, Dylan, it looks like now you kind of set it around that 20-second gap. That would put him in 8th, but a couple of other drivers will have... I mean, Andre's going to have to go through. Other drivers still have to make a stop. But yeah, AWS just popped up for me. Got 13 to 15 pits for my one stop.
Yeah. As much as ooh, Sector 3 yellow flag. What happened? I don't see anything.
Somebody entering the pits, I think.
Okay. As much as it kills me to say it, this like the whole starting the thing about the alternate strategy in this game anyway is that because we are not professionals and we crash a lot more than the actual professionals do, there tend to be a lot of safety cars which can neutralize starting on the hard tires. And I can't believe I'm going to say the sentence. Things have worked out beautifully for Fuzz.
Yeah, and he's he's close to half a second on Dylan, so he might actually make a move for the lead here.
Yeah, so he may make a move for the lead, and if in a couple laps time there is another safety car or something like that, or even a VSC, and Fuzz can put on the mediums, if Fuzz takes a cheap pit stop, Fuzz is in the net lead of this race, which, wow.
Yeah, he's still yet to make a stop. Dylan's yet to make a stop, and Willow in fourth is yet to make a stop. But yeah, that, like you said, a well-timed safety car or VSC for either one of them, and it's going to change the complexion of this race.
Yeah. Let's see. So Fuzz is now coming right up on Dylan, and at this point, Fuzz has a distinct tire advantage. Ooh.
Yeah. And Dylan's actually diving into the pits, so Fuzz is going to take the lead. Which
releases Fuzz into the net lead into the current lead of the race. So let's see what he can do now with all this space in front of him, and let's see if he can make it happen. Because now we have Gomez, who's now 3.5 seconds back, and
Willow pit as well.
Willow pit as well. Okay, so
Fuzz is the holdout from the.
Oh, and we have Zamagos and Miami are side to side again. They're side by side. Ooh, and Zamagos has got to let Miami go there, which, smart move long term for Zamagos. He's got to figure that this fight is not just going to stop now. But that was smart. So they've both gotten ahead of California, who really had the played 4D chess there on that play to get himself in that position at all.
Absolutely, and yeah, it'll be interesting now if like you said, if Fuzz can grab a safety car or VSC, he's gonna be in a fantastic position. But as we talked about earlier, that gap between Miami and Zamagos was around 2 seconds towards the beginning part of the race, and then as they battled, that gap widened to about 5 seconds before they pit. That gap is about 9 seconds. So Gomez was able to navigate that traffic a lot easier than Miami and Zamagos behind, and so he's got quite a
Great
gap
point.
out the front.
Great point. Brandon is now coming out of the pits onto the hard tire here. So now that means that I think everybody has stopped at this point except Fuzz, I think. Ooh, we have a VSC for JXW. What happened?
Fuzz is just past the pits. He's down into turn 1.
Fuzz, man, you're driving too fast, dude.
He's going to be... I had that VSC come out about 15-20 seconds earlier. He would have...
Beck is going to take the cheap pit stop. I mean, absolutely take the cheap stop here. Let's see if anybody else is going to be able to take advantage here. Andre goes through. Crazy Sriracha is going to come in and try to take a cheap stop. Nice little lock up there, but he gets in under the radar, so all good. Oh, Zamagos just got to drive through. Oh no! Oh no! Crazy Sriracha comes out now on a fresh set of hards, so he's good to the end of the race here on brand new tires. For some reason,
looks like everybody is on hards except for Andre Sousa, who's on mediums, and RC has been on. He's on 24 laps.
That makes zero sense because he started the race on hards.
Yeah, and we're on lap 15, so I don't understand what that's doing. But
alrighty, in other, we'll say he's just been on them for 24 kilometers and call it a day. So now we have California behind Zamagos here. That's now kind of a non-issue, unfortunately, because now Zamagos has to go box. Ah, poor Zamagos.
Yeah, so. That's going to unfortunately take away from a battle that we were both enjoying, especially in the opening part of the race, but clearly it continued. So.
Yep, so now the story here is... and Miami pits, interestingly enough. Did Miami get one as well?
As well. Yep. He's driving through. I'm going to check the race track. So a couple things to note. Andre Sousa with the 5-second time penalty. Beck has a 3-second time penalty. Andre Sousa already served his drive-through, as well as, yes, Miami and Zimaglis both picked up drive-throughs as well. So we're actually going to continue to benefit from it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. As Gomez Ovega now is within a second and a half of Fuzz to retake the lead of this race. But, you know, I mean, we've had 2 VSCs. You don't know what can happen for Fuzz here, because if Fuzz is able to pit for under a VSC or a safety car, Fuzz would come out ahead of California, which would then put Fuzz on brand new tires in second place, which would make for a very interesting fight. But now, right now, we have Bones within a second of Dylan. We have Miami, Zamaglis, and Andre are going to clump themselves up in a moment, which is going to make for another interesting... Ooh, 3 seconds for Miami.
Fuzz pits.
And Fuzz pits. Let's see where he comes
If
out.
try the soft tires. You might be able to stretch him for 12 laps at the end of the race.
So we're going to ride on board...
mediums.
He's going mediums? Okay, we're going to ride on board here with Bones to see when Fuzz comes out. Maybe with Dylan. We'll see if Fuzz or Dylan... No, we're going to be on with Bones, and we'll see if Bones is going to come out ahead of Fuzz. How about Andre versus Fuzz here? So Andre is going to come out... So Fuzz is going to come out between Bones and Andre. But let's see what Fuzz can do here. What's the distance to the leader? So Fuzz is 20 seconds off here, which is probably a little too much without any other sort of help, we'll call it. So... But we have now Miami within half a second on Sousa. Sriracha. So Romney comes into pit. What's he gonna? He's gonna put on the mediums. Oh, and he's got a. Oh, and he's out. Okay.
Just a slow slap, it looks like.
Yeah. Blame those Ferrari mechanics.
I like to.
Absolutely. Fuzz here is on Bones, so we'll see if what Fuzz can get done here. Fuzz can go into the inside as he goes into turn 12 here, does a nice job. 11 takes a nice amount of curb on the outside and really follows it through this S here, which is actually quite a nice section of track, to be honest.
Got a little bit of a lockup.
Yeah, that's to be expected there. So we have Miami on Sousa, though, which is an interesting little battle here. So we have Sousa, Miami, and Zamaglis have all served drive-throughs.
All served drive-throughs, and they're still kind of... Zamaglis is a few seconds behind, but yeah, they're still kind of all in a little battle together. So Fuzz is able to get the move done. Braking now for turn 1, he's ahead.
Yep. And Miami got Andre Sousa, but let's see, they're both going to have a chance to come back here. So we have Bones is going to try this on Fuzz here? No, I don't think so. Fuzz got lucky that he also had DRS off of Dylan here. So now we have this group of 3 cars here.
Hold out for third.
Yeah, now we're rooting for Dylan here.
At least, yeah. I mean, I should be neutral, but
it helps your prediction. As Fuzz, despite pitting 1 lap ago for new mediums, has now put 17 laps on his mediums in the span of 1 lap. There's some math for you. We have Beck here. Beck here is right behind Willow for the last points-paying spot here, which will be we'll see if he can. Ooh, and they both lock up. Oh man, into 9-10. Beck now has DRS, and let's see if he's able to get this move done. He doesn't use the DRS. Okay. We have Fuzz on Dylan.
So crucially for the standings, JX currently holds the fastest lap, and he's retired from this race. So no one in the top 10 right now has that point for fastest lap. So I wonder if someone like Beck, he's got 10 seconds to RC.
Fuzz gets the move done, by the way.
Excellent. Maybe Beck might consider boxing for softs here on the closing stages of the lap and see if he can get the fastest lap as well.
But Beck looks like he just made a move on the inside of Willow into turn 1 to get him into 9th. So that may put that to pasture here. RC has now gone into the pits.
Really got a little wide through turn 2, so he lost quite a bit of time.
Now we have Bones on Dylan and Fuzz here, so we'll see if Bones can push through there and get himself up into 4th place. You have to think that he's probably not going to grab Fuzz because Fuzz is on softer tires, but you know, you just don't know at this point. Oh.
All it takes is one person hitting the death curve and bringing out a safety car, and the whole race is going to change. So.
Exactly, and then at that point we have to figure out who has penalties and who doesn't, because that becomes much more important and can be worth a couple of places.
Yeah, I'll check the race director again, but I believe Andre has 5. Yep, for speeding in the pit lane, which I'm not sure if he might have served that in a pit stop. Beck has 3 seconds. Miami has 3 seconds. So.
Okay, so not too many. Also, we haven't said too much about Gomez here, despite the fact that he's leading the race by 14 seconds. I mean, there's not much to say except, like...
He kind of pulled a Lewis Hamilton, started out on lap 1 and was able to navigate the pit stop window pretty well, and has just kind of been running a race of his own. So yeah,
as Bones drops down the inside into turn 4, and whoa, they go side by side here.
Back, yeah.
Nice move by Bones there. So we'll see now if Bones can mount a charge on Fuzz over the last couple laps, because those mediums are quick, but they do go. When they go, they go. And Andre not helping his mediums by locking them up.
I don't think Fuzz will experience too much tire wear, but especially with the battling that he did and the overtakes and everything, that might have taken some life out of him. So there's a chance that his tires start to give up a little bit in those last few laps.
For sure. I mean, so much of this at the end, so much of the race here is won and lost in those couple laps where your tires are critical. It's who can manage that period the best, because you only have peak grip in a 29 lap race. You probably only have peak grip for what, 6 laps, 7 laps?
Yeah, probably.
8 at most, like before everything starts going to shit. So
Fuzz, though, speaking of, I was just thinking about fastest lap. He's got the softest compound, and if you look at his fastest lap so far is a 30.041, and JX was a 30.029. So he's 200ths away from holding that fastest lap. He might save up some ERS and some fuel and go for fastest lap towards the end of the race as well.
And try to put in a stonk. And not to steal a quote from Red Bull in real life, but is it possible? Well, if you get on with it.
If you get on with it, yeah.
So at this point, we've kind of gotten a few settled gaps here. The closest fight on the track right now has got to be between Dylan and Bones. Dylan is trying to get back on Bones here after the pass, which is allowing Miami and Andre to catch up, but otherwise we have a couple of definitely some steady gaps here.
Yeah, 4th through 7th is pretty close, but like we talked about, Gomez is cruising out in front, really kind of running a race of his own. California in 2nd, pretty comfortable gap to Fuzz. It's still a couple seconds. That's not closing too quickly for him. And Fuzz is kind of riding that gap to Bones, but yeah, 4th through 7th certainly providing
the action on track,
much like in real life.
There you go. If you could actually just kind of check what California and Fuzz's last lap times were, because I feel like last lap Fuzz was 3 seconds back, and now he's only 2.2.
Yep. So California ran a 31.8. He's been super consistent, kind of mid 31s since about lap 16, and Fuzz has been running kind of in the mid 30s. So. It's around a second-ish a lap looking like, but I think Fuzz certainly will fancy his chances of making a move in maybe a couple laps.
Yeah, we're gonna monitor this here towards the end, because Fuzz is now within 1.7 seconds of California, which means that he's not far away from getting DRS. So, yeah, this will be that could be an interesting ending here. You know, watch this space for more.
Yep.
So while it doesn't look like anybody's going to get some moves done here, we're going to make sure we get everybody a little bit of time. Unfortunately, Sriracha had the early spins here, and he's in 11th, which RC gets 3 seconds. But Sriracha's
Tough
in
race for RC.
yeah. Props to him, man. He's sticking with the no line here, and it's it's from experience. It's tough. You know, even on a track that doesn't have 9,000 turns, it's like you miss it when you overshoot a turn or something because it tells you before you would know. So Miami looks to make a move on Dylan and just missed it. So now he's sitting 2/10 behind for that next DRS straight, and nope, he's not going to be able to get it done. So we'll see if he can get that around. We have
so worth noting about California and Fuzz. California looks like he's been saving ERS. He has a full 100% topped off battery to defend along the straights with. So he might be been expecting that charge from Fuzz and is defending, taking steps to defend accordingly.
Interesting, because now Fuzz is within a second on his allegedly 27 lap old mediums on lap 23.
I think closer to about 5 or 6 laps.
but who's counting?
Yeah, he came in and pitted on lap looks like 17.
Yep. So Fuzz isn't going to be close enough this lap, but let's see. You know, we'll see if he can make it. We'll see if he can make it happen. We have Brandon in 14th. We got Lit Romney in 13th. Unfortunately for these guys, they're kind of running a little bit of their own race right now. Same thing with RC. They're just having a nice nighttime drive through the desert, unfortunately. They can't seem to not... Ooh, hold on. We have Miami kind of coming up on Dylan here. Miami pulls to the inside into turn 1. They both go into the break side by side, and fair play for both of them. Miami gets the move done, but, you know, they both went through the corner side by side. Nice job.
Very clean drive.
Yeah, and Fuzz now is within a 10th of California. So this may happen here. 3/10 going down into turn 8, which is one of the most important turns because you have the acceleration zone up the hill. Fuzz had a little bit of lockup, but it didn't really hurt him. So Fuzz is now 3/10 down into 9-10. Let's see how they do. California gets through clean. Fuzz gets through clean. California gets a better exit, for sure. Yeah, because now Fuzz is about half second back, and that's not going to be close enough for him to make a move here. So, rightly so, Fuzz just kind of uses the DRS to hang on, but doesn't do anything particularly aggressive. We have Miami within 3/10 of Miami within a couple tenths of Bones here, and we have Zamaglis within a couple tenths of Sousa. So now these guys are beginning to kind of close up again towards the end of the race, which is going to make for some interesting racing here. On board with Fuzz here on California. Ooh, Fuzz pulls the inside, and Fuzz has got him. Oh, and then we're gonna Brand gets by Brandon as well. Lap traffic. So let's see if now Fuzz can get away from. Yeah. Let's see if California gets away or can get back at him, and he can't. So now we have Miami within a couple tenths of Bones here, and let's see if Miami can get this move done.
To the side of DRS. He's getting the move done as well. Down into turn 4.
Nicely done. Very nice. So we have now Zamaglis got by Sousa. Well, I was probably yammering about something else, so sorry about that, Zamaglis. Big lockup there by Bones. Beck is 4/10 to Andre. Beck is just going to be able to kind of run this one out here. He's got 12 to Willow. Willow
he spun.
Ooh, who did?
Beck's out of the race.
Oh my God! The commentator's curse. Yellow safety car with 4 laps to go.
Safety car.
Oh boy, here we go.
I think
here we
Gomez
go.
is just now in the penultimate corner, or the final corner. So
Gomez has a free stop. He should stop. Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in. He's got to stop for softs here. Don't get a penalty though. Smart man.
Very conservative going in, but
absolutely,
he
he
should. He's just now coming to the final corner. He's got to stick to that safety car delta.
Yeah.
So he decides to come in this bit.
So we're gonna oh fuck, wrong button. So at this point, I think if you're California pits, which I think is the right decision.
It's gonna be really close.
Yeah.
Looks like Fuzz is gonna take the lead.
Ooh, Fuzz is gonna take the net lead here. So Fuzz,
crucially, Gomez got out ahead of Bag of Bones, because if he would have come out in third, that would have been.
Yeah, California boxes, Miami boxes, Andre boxes, Zamaglis boxes. This is just going to be a friggin' shootout. Now, Andre has to serve a penalty in the pits. Big ouch, but smart to do so now instead of waiting till after the race, because the 5 seconds don't mean as much right now.
Yeah, and he had a pretty big gap to. There was a pretty big gap between about 8th and 9th. So
yeah, he was fine. Crazy Sriracha now finds himself back up in the points. Also, keep in mind too that sometimes late in the races like this, the safety car does not stay out all that long.
No, it doesn't.
I discovered last year in the safety car came out in Monaco lap 36. It was in on 37. So just kind of we'll keep our eye on this. So we have Gomez on definitely softer tires. We have Bones a second behind on the hards. Dylan now is in fourth here. Can you check some penalties?
Yep, I didn't see any new ones. Check again.
Well, more or less I've just forgotten. So
yeah. So starting with the most recent ones, Beck picked up a 3-second, but that's unimportant. RC has 3. Miami has 3. That'll be crucial.
Big time.
Beck with another 3. Andre Sousa served his 5 in the pits, and it looks like it's it.
Okay. So how many warnings does Fuzz have? How many warnings does Gomez have? If you can click into them, because if one of them has 2 warnings, that materially changes the last couple laps here.
It looks like Fuzz has 2 warnings, so he's going to have to be very careful. Gomez looks like he only has 1. So
interesting. How about Bones?
Bones, it shows 3 warnings. One of those might have been on lap 1 for
collision. Okay. So the field is
penalty yet, so I don't think those warnings are all for track limits.
So the field is going to be bunching up here, which will be a very interesting ending. Because now what's going to happen is we're going to have a couple split tire strategies here. We're going to have Willow Wolves, who's in 10th, is going to be right behind Crazy Sriracha, who's made his way back up to 9th, which is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it shows you just how important it is to keep pushing and stay in the race, because at one point he looked like he was pretty far down the order there, but now he's on for 2 points if he can run the 9th.
Yeah. And then we have California and Bones, and what's going on here? People are passing each other.
Bones had a slight issue with the connection there.
Okay. Well, we'll get everybody back going here, and so we're now. The one to watch here is obviously going to be Gomez Olvega here, because he's on those soft tires, and I mean I would have done the same thing he did. I would have boxed as well.
It's tough because if you don't box and Fuzz does, I mean he's going to be right behind you with fresh soft tires chasing you down. So I think for Gomez it was the right call. So.
Yep. For sure. I have to think the safety car is coming in this lap, and it's going to be 2 laps worth of fight. Yep, safety car in this lap. Okay, here we go.
Looks like there's some position sorting out between Dylan and California and Bagbones. Brandon's lapped car is still
in the way.
3rd on track, so I think that might be throwing some things off. But certainly Fuzz is going to be the one to watch. Miami on fresh softs is going to be one to watch as well. So.
Yeah. And then we got Gomez Olvega here on second. He's been the fastest guy without a doubt all day. But let's see. He's got 2 laps to make it happen here. And they're off. They're off. He gets a great launch. Gets a great launch.
You can see just how much more traction.
Oh man. He goes down to the inside of Fuzz, and Fuzz is going to try to hold him off, but nope. Can't quite get it. Damage to who? Oh,
California behind.
California, Miami. Oh, the Brandon's lap car has put an absolute mess into this. There are guys all over the place. We have a spun car. We have
Sriracha spun again.
Sriracha's gone around. We have now Lit Romney into 9th. We have Zamaglis into 6th here. What is going on at the end of this race? We have now Gomez is gone at this point, unless he's a mistake. This race is his. We have Andre Sousa, who's Andre Sousa has now jumped California. We have a freaking lockups everywhere. Oh man, what a safety car has just made this.
7th is like 2 seconds separated. It's going to be a really tight race for that last podium position.
You are not kidding.
Should be pretty comfortable in 2nd as everyone battles behind him.
Yeah. Yep, and Miami tries to pull out on Dylan and can't quite get it done. Oh wait, he's going to try it up the hill at 13. Oh, there's not enough room there for 2 cars. That was close. But it looks like Zamaglis is now going to throw his hat in the ring, because at this point it's the last lap. Oh, and Zamaglis gets the move done. Awesome move. Awesome move, Zamaglis. So now Zamaglis is going to be on Dylan here at the end. We have Andre Sousa, who's now 2/10 back of Miami. These guys are all over each other. Gomez sets the fastest lap, which you'd expect, and he's probably going to break it again next time for good measure. Zamaglis pulls out on Dylan Twom. He's got the tire advantage. He goes to the inside here. He's going to be able to hold this off and then not hit Bones, because that's going to be interesting to squeeze his car in, and he does so exceptionally well. We have Dylan behind him, and Miami might look to get another shot on Dylan here. And here Miami comes back. He's right behind. Oh my God, inches, if that, between the two of them. Comes side to side, dives in. Oh, he's barely able to hold on to it. He somehow does. We're on with Andre here, so we can watch the side-by-side going on in front of them. They go side-by-side through the S, and Miami gets it done, and Andre thinks about taking an opportunistic look and ends up thinking better of it, as Willow makes a dive down the inside on Andre Sousa. Oh, is he able to hold this move? This is some move here. Let's see. We're gonna go back with California to see if we can get a look on this. Oh, man, and Andre makes the move in. Oh, Andre taps Dylan, pushes him wide, goes by. We have Willow come down the inside, and Willow has somehow come down the inside and won out in all of this, and Andre's in 6th, and Willow's in 7th. We now have Zamaglis trying to get 3rd away from Bones, and they're side-by-side through 11 and 12. Oh, and then Miami is now throwing his way back into this. I cannot believe the last lap of this race. We have Miami, who's now going to try to make this dive on Zamaglis. It doesn't look like it's there. Well, first of all, we have to give props to Gomez, who's now 4.5 seconds ahead and goes to cross the line there in first. Congrats on the win, Gomez. But right now we have Zamaglis going around the outside of Bones, and they're side to side, pushing him off the track. And Miami's going to cut through all the way up. He's going to run all the way up into 3rd place, finish this race in 3rd. Oh, with a penalty, Zamaglis goes into 4th, Sousa into 5th, Willow into 6th, Dylan into 7th. What a bonkers ending to this race. Holy crap.
That was some couple laps there, and you can see, I don't think Miami had that penalty before the safety car restart, and you can see how that 3 seconds took him from what would have been 3rd on track to, I think, 8th or 9th.
Oh my God.
After those 3 seconds were applied, that late safety car totally changed the end of this race here.
Bonkers. Huge congrats to our top 3 here. Gomez Gomez was the fastest man on the track today, period. So just
absolutely
fastest man won. And then in second, as much as, giving you gotta give Fuzz credit where it's due. He just managed his race brilliantly from 16th to 2nd. He deserves to be up on that podium. And Bones,
driver of the day, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And Bones as well kind of just found himself in the middle there and snuck his way up to 3rd place. Just incredibly well done. For
Bones to be able to, he only stopped once. He only made one stop. He did not pit under that late safety car. So for Bones to for Fuzz finishing on the podium from that is to be expected. He was in the lead of the race at the restart, but for Bones to be in all of that traffic on old tires when a lot of drivers around him were on softs, absolutely fantastic job from him.
Absolutely, and also a shout to Lit Romney as well, who had struggled at the beginning of the race and scores points.
Scores points.
Like
amazing,
amazing race. Willow from 14th on the grid to 6th. I mean, this was really an awesome race to watch, especially the last couple of minutes. So, Zayek, I think that's all she wrote today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. This was, wow, a exciting race beginning to end there, I don't think there was a dull lap to be had.
Nope, there wasn't. So signing off for now for ZOR EU PlayStation tier, we have Doth and my compatriot here, Zyg.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I will, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to watch the battle of attrition that will be Hanoi.
Yep, it's going to be...
it's going to be something.
Baku all over again, I think.
Yep. Alrighty. Signing off. Thank you everybody very much.